What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course. As you can see from the title of this video, I want to talk about Melody Shari's latest interview on a local radio station right in Alabama, 94.1. I'm sure that you've heard some wonderful content creators give their commentary on the interview, and there were some things that really spoke to me that I wanted to share with you all. Now, before we get into these sound bites, of course, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video, or even if you were to hit the dislike button, either one of those work the same, meaning that YouTube will recommend this video to more people who love to discuss the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. I would love to have you. And also, I ask that you all please note that the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on these sound bites are allowed for criticism, and everything that I'm saying here is alleged and my opinion. All right, so let's get right down to it. Now, during this interview, Melody Shari was advocating for St. Jude. She was asking for people to make donations. I believe the ideal plan was for people to become regular donors, where you make a monthly donation of just $20. So if you are moved to donate in that way, not everyone pays like an official tithe or offering to a church. But in my opinion, you could still be giving, in a pleasing way to God cheerfully if you made a donation in the way that you would like to, in the way that you are moved. So that's definitely an option with St. Jude. All right. So in the beginning of the interview, the host, she was very funny. I felt like she and the gentleman and Melody, they had great chemistry. You can tell that they've talked before, they've kicked it before. They were all comfortable with each other. Melody was like super duper high energy and fun on the radio. I thought it was great. If anyone had a drive into work at that time, they definitely were starting off their workday with a great start. So I think that that's awesome. Now, in the beginning of the interview, the host, she was making jokes about, who shows up to someone's storage unit, with all of the materials ready to test, like a drug test. And Melody was explaining, basically they're on a reality TV show and she wanted everything to be organic. So she did not tell Kiki that she was showing up with the testing info because she wanted to get Kiki's raw reaction and to see if she would actually participate. And we all know that she did. And the only thing that showed up in the results was what she's taking as a medication to not relapse on what she was addicted to before. So I felt like that was very smart on Melody's behalf, especially being a producer of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And even if she was not producing, that's just smart for wanting an organic reaction, an organic scene. So I actually appreciate that from Melody, because as someone who has grown up watching reality TV, when the real world first started, I was 9 years old. So I probably should not have been watching the real world those years growing up. But I say all that to say, I appreciate organic scenes in reality TV and not forced conversations and pre-rehearsed reads, so I really appreciate her clarifying that. And she also made a note to say that she and Kiki were friends at that time. We all know what has transpired going back 3 months ago in December, where it was revealed that, Kiki allegedly was revealing things about the show before they aired. And then she and her mom were in the middle of some content creator beefs over interviews that were promised to people. And so, and then allegedly Kiki told a blogger that, Melody did something really mean to her and upset her, and he revealed it in the form of a question, and everyone was wondering what did Melody do. And what we later learned was that Kiki just didn't like it when they went to Houston. She felt like, why did Melody want Tisha to know so bad that she did not invite her to the Houston trip? And she wanted her to just go to bat for her with that therapist. And it's too bad that because Kiki really put 20 on 10, now she's lost like a really great friendship. That's too bad. But the next thing that I want to talk about is Jay Bolin. So the host brings up Melody's collaborations with Jay Bolin, and I just love about how Melody explains some of their process going into the creativity when they collaborate. And here's what Melody Shari had to say.
You know celebrity stylist Jay Bolin. I know of him. I don't know him. Yeah, he'll be in town Sunday. Oh, really? Yeah. Tell him to stay off your show. We want to be your friend. To stay off the show. Take some notes, Jay. Listen, he's amazing. Every time we do a collaboration together, we always find a way to make it fit wherever I am in life at that time. So this last collection we just dropped was called Forward, okay, right? Nice. And as I've continued to move forward from changing, doing a name change, we didn't want to say my name right after I changed my name and had a name changing ceremony, right? And so now I'm continuing to move forward and kind of press past some things. So this collection was called Forward. I like that name, actually. Yeah, really nice. And I like the few outfits I've seen. The spring, it looks like spring collection to me. Some of it is. Yeah, really nice and bright, beautiful stuff. Yeah. So I love doing the things I enjoy. Hell, you probably can make a paper sack or a potato sack look good. What are you talking about? I don't know about all that. A ball collection. That's right. Yeah. A ball collection. So no, I love it. I love doing fashion. I walked in New York Fashion Week since I last met you. I've been to Paris and walked in Paris Fashion Week. Nice. Since I last not met you, but came into the studio. Right. And I have been enjoying kind of going into that fashion world. All right. Well, we're going to find out a little bit more and get more into your business. We're going to get back.
Okay, I love that. So Melody was explaining how when she and Jay Bolin collaborate, they come up with the name of the collection that fits where Melody is in her life. And I just love creativity. I feel like it is one of the greatest gifts that God has given his human creation. I also believe that laughter is one of the greatest gifts that he has given us. And what I love about creativity, whether I am writing a poem or a song, or I am giving my commentary on a subject here on YouTube, I love that it comes from my heart. And I just hope that even if there's just 1% that one person connects with, I'm glad that we share that connection. And I'm glad that we understand each other. Even when it comes to cast members of the show that are not very liked or can be very triggering, or even when it's about Carlos. I love the conversation piece of it all, and you analyzing, what he says he's going to do and what he says, and then we compare it to what we're seeing Melody go through. I love that analytical process. And when I watch his lives, when I see things on social media and I give commentary on it, when I'm listening to Ariane speak with the original Straight No Chaser, I'm pulling out things that I want to analyze, and it makes me thankful that God made me how he did. When I listen to Ariane, I'm thankful for how I grew up, and those are things that give me the motivating factor to create commentary on those things. So it's kind of like taking a negative and turning it into a positive, or getting a takeaway from someone that perhaps irks you, a takeaway to not be that way, to avoid those things, to avoid that path. So I think that it's always positive to share those sides of the whole conversation of Love and Marriage Huntsville as well. So in this next soundbite, the host, she brought up a very interesting question. And she talked about, people thinking that the show Love and Marriage Huntsville was going to be about almost like a HGTV, remodeling, building new homes. And she said that it shifted. And Melody, of course, with her intellectual self, she gave a great answer that makes a lot of sense to me. So I want to give my commentary on it. And here she is.
We've been following your show. You said you're now in 7 seasons.
Yeah, 7th season.
And it started off with what a lot of people were thinking, like, oh, this is going to be really nice. They're going to put Huntsville on the map. Hey, on this last day of Black History Month, Melody Shari, the first Black woman in the Tennessee Valley to bring a reality show to Huntsville.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So when it first started, everybody was really excited because it looked like one thing, and then it started shifting and changing into something. Right.
That's a part of reality, though.
Oh,
that's reality.
Oh.
So when you're talking about reality TV, if you are following the real and what's happening, you have to be ready for shifts and turns, right?
I'm glad you said shifts.
Yeah, shifts and turns. Yeah. And don't be trying to be petty because I'm going to use this. You think St. Jude mind if I use the pom pom? But I'm gonna do this whenever Petty Tony is out. Shady Petty Tony, I'm gonna just do this.
Shake the petty out. Shake the petty out.
Listen, we have definitely put Huntsville on the map. It was already on the map, but we've definitely brought some more attention to the entertainment, especially. And when you hear of like new restaurants coming in, and you talk to some of the people responsible for making those things happen, and they say, yeah, some of our donors act, they know about Love and Marriage Huntsville and the Oprah Winfrey Network being a part of it. So that's what it's about for me, and also shedding a spotlight on the entertainment industry, letting people know you can be from Alabama, I'm from a one red light town, grew up some of my life on a dirt road, and you can do anything no matter where you're from.
I love that. Okay, that was a great soundbite. So there's like a few things that I want to talk about. Number one, I love Southern cities for reality TV. And don't get me wrong, I'm from the North myself. When Love and Hip Hop New York was popping, that was a good show. Of course, when The Real Housewives of Potomac was authentic, that was a great reality TV show. But I do love the Southern states. I think it's because I almost feel like a connection because I know both of my parents are from the South. I have lots of extended family in the South. And I feel like ultimately I will move down South because with each year, I'm just over the whole winters in the North and the snow and the ice, so I feel like I'm going to eventually move down South anyway. So I always feel like I just connect with people more, even like in the lock community. Of course, obviously, there's people in the North who have their hair locked, but a lot of the influencers that I follow, they're all in the South. And I feel like it's just I don't know what it is. I feel such a positive connection and I feel like it pulls me there, like gravity. So I think that it's great that Love and Marriage Huntsville takes place in Alabama because it gives you a more diverse look at the South, not just with the reality TV show being filmed in Atlanta, but in another Southern city. So I thought that that was great. And I'm very glad at that time that Carlos King and the OWN Network, they were open to filming in Huntsville, Alabama. There is something powerful about being open to something, just having a listening ear and just being observant and not automatically being judgmental or prejudging, So I think that that's great because here we are, they're filming season 7 and they're in Huntsville, Alabama. I absolutely love it. The other thing that I thought that was very significant that Melody Shari talked about, that was with her saying, in reality, there's going to be a shift. Our lives do change. When you work in the financial industry, in sales, you are taught that a person, an adult, goes through some sort of change every 6 months, whether it's they start a new job, they meet someone that they really care about, or maybe they get pregnant or they get engaged, or they buy a home. So, the whole point is in the financial industry, you want to have conversations with your clients, your customers, to find out where they are in life, to see what financial product you can sell to them. So I say that to say that what Melody Shari is saying, that there's a shift in reality, that is definitely not far-fetched. I know that a lot of times when we talk about the way people gang up on Melody and the toxicity, we often go back to how they originally pitched a show for HGTV to Carlos. And Carlos came back and said, well, I can make it happen faster if it's an ensemble cast, meaning other couples on a reality TV show. We heard Martell say those things to Tasha K when she interviewed him. So I do wonder, I am open-minded to think, although he totally changed the format from HGTV type show to an ensemble cast, perhaps that shift was going to come about anyway, because Martell was disrespecting his wife and disrespecting their vows and their household. Perhaps even if it started out as an HGTV show, that shift that Melody was speaking about would have come about anyway. That is something to think about. And, perhaps if Carlos had gone with their original vision, we would still see some HGTV elements today. But, definitely the shift, I think that makes a lot of sense. And I definitely agree. So now, also the host, she asked about Melody Shari's relationship status. And I loved what she had to say. I think that it's very important for women to hear. Being single, it is not a bad thing.
Oh, and you have reclaimed your birth name. Are you dating? Do you have a dude, a man, a boot thing? Because the last time I saw you say anything kind of like referring to possibly, you said, "Oh, I go international now." I'm like, "What's that mean?"
Yeah. Okay.
Switching sides.
Yeah. I do
passport. Make it a little lighter, brighter.
I do love to travel internationally. Yes, I do.
Okay.
I love to travel. I love to travel internationally. But honestly, I won't keep it a bug. Sometimes I'm dating, sometimes I'm not. Do I have a man? No, I don't.
Okay.
Could I have one? Absolutely.
Okay.
But you know what? Tony, I have my babies. I love focusing on them, making them a priority because they are a priority for me. So making sure they're good, and also for myself, I've been through a lot. So also making sure that my healing is where it needs to be in order to really have someone present. Then dealing with the kind of ex I have, making sure that
See,
I'm
I
not
done
opening.
very well. I didn't bring
You
it up.
did, but I'm just being honest.
You brought it up, so since you brought them up,
I just being honest.
I feel like she did an alley oop. She was just like,
Yeah, it was like,
how's Martell doing these days?
I don't know.
Radio silent.
I don't keep up with him, so I can't tell you.
Okay, well, we wish him nothing but the best.
Yes,
Hope
nothing
he's
but
well,
the
'cause he's
best. God
still,
bless him.
your baby daddy.
Okay, so you heard it there. So Melody Shari said, right now at this moment, she's not dating anyone. Could she get somebody? Of course. I love that self-confidence, but I love that Melody knows that she is not defined by whether or not she is dating anyone. I feel like that is a message that us women cannot hear enough. That is so important because I feel like in the physical world that we live in society, women, going back to when we are little girls, we are conditioned to want the wedding ceremony, not even so much as thinking about what type of marriage we will want for ourselves, but we lust after that wedding ceremony, which then leads to spending tens of thousands of dollars on a ceremony that lasts about 45 minutes. Then you go to the reception, you do dance, you do eat, you feed people that you probably haven't seen since your last relative's wedding or some sort of family event. So I think that it's very important for women to peel those layers back and just know that it is okay with being single. Your single status is totally fine. And, when you go to the gym and when you get your hair done and you're wearing a cute outfit, you're doing it for yourself, not to just only attract someone, perhaps. When you're taking good care of yourself, it's not just to look sexy to someone for a romantic relationship, but it's because you love yourself enough that you want to look good for yourself. So I think that that's a message that we cannot hear enough. And the host, she definitely checks out the show. She's definitely tickled. She remembers everything when Melody was saying that this kitty could be the international kitty, okay? And so yeah, I definitely have dated outside of my race. It's not a big deal to me at all. I've dated Lebanese, which is Middle Eastern descent, Arab, Middle Eastern, and Indian. So it's not a big deal to me at all. But I just love that she's like, I'm not seeing anyone. Can I get somebody? Of course. I love that. But I want to hear from you all. What do you think about her saying that it's normal to have a shift in reality TV? Even if the show started out as an HGTV show, do you think that shift would have already occurred anyway because of how Martell treated his marriage with such disrespect? And definitely, what do you think about everything else that she said during the interview, like with her wanting an organic reaction from Kiki when they were at the storage bin to her working with Jay Bolin? I thank you all so much for watching this video. The support means so much to me. I ask that you please hit the like button on this video. It is a free way of supporting the channel. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. I hope that your weekend is off to a good start. Mine is, I work remotely from home. So when the sun is shining and especially when it's Friday, I feel like the world is just moving without me, man. So as soon as I was done with work, I went out for a few hours. Then I came home to produce some content for you all. And then, I plan on going to the gym and, of course, meal prepping for next week. And I'm going to see my godparents, I believe, see how they're doing this weekend. So you all be safe and have that balance between getting stuff done on the weekends, but getting your rest as well. Watch some good TV, get caught up on some things, or go check out a movie or something. And I will talk with you all soon. Bye.